So, God gives you a life and you don't see the full picture, okay? You go out there and you meet someone, and this person to you is perfect for you, and the person rejects you. Now, they let you down nicely, but you see it as something different. You start evaluating yourself. You start looking at yourself and saying, well, what is it that I miss? Why is it that they don't like me? You totally begin to evaluate yourself. Because that's what rejection does. Rejection makes you self-evaluate, makes you to really check yourself and look at what is it that's wrong with me. Now, that was God giving you a blessing, but you didn't see it as a gift. You saw it as the person didn't like you. But it's not that the person didn't like you. The person wasn't ready for a relationship. They weren't ready for a relationship, just like you saw yourself as more perfect before you met that person. So now you have to self-evaluate and you have to work on yourself. You see, if you love yourself and someone rejects you, you don't necessarily see it the same way. You don't see it as rejection. You see it as maybe God blessing you because he allowed that person to do that to you so that you can evaluate who you really are. You see, on the self-love journey, when a person is rejecting you, you don't see it as rejection. You see it as, this is actually some more time that I have. Perhaps I'm not ready. Perhaps I need to evaluate where I am and what I need to work on. And then the right people will come into my life. You see, we're not taught this in school. We're not taught this in college. We're not taught this, so we don't know this. But now we have the opportunity to really work at ourselves and what it is that we want to project as well as what it is that we want to receive. You see, because when you're on this journey, you say, okay, first you might want to check yourself and you say, okay, was my hair in check? You know, did I have something on my face? Whatever. You're evaluating and allowing yourself to see what maybe your flaws were. And once you realize that you don't have, we all have flaws. No one's perfect. But at that same time, we need to make sure that we say, okay, maybe there was something that I missed. So let me just work on this. And when you finish working on that one thing, you strategize and you say, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out with a few friends. And while I go out with the friends, I'm going to ask that they tell me some things that they saw that maybe weren't so perfect so I can work at those things. Don't always analyze something and see yourself at fault. We're so accustomed to being hard on ourselves. Oh man, I shouldn't have gotten that haircut. Oh man, I zeked myself, whatever. Let me tell you something. The worst things we can possibly do is make ourselves feel bad, because when we put ourselves on that low spectrum, we see ourselves in a negative way and we're going to project that anger. Now you're angry. Now you're dissatisfied. It comes out in your aura. It comes out in your behavior. It comes out in how you are carrying yourself. It's important that we look at ourselves and evaluate where it is that we're going. We're going to some place that we want to go to, right? We are going to find ourselves in different positions. You know, there's this cruise that a lot of people are taking in Chicago now. And basically it's just you sit on this boat and you eat while the boat goes throughout, I think through the harbor or what have you. Either way, you're finding different things to do with your time that are going to make you feel good. Okay, perhaps this person didn't want to be in a relationship with you. Perhaps they weren't ready. But perhaps you might want to be that person's friend. Now that you're friends, you're working towards the goal of getting to know each other. Then maybe it can open up into something more. But it's important to get to know the person, because in relationships, nowadays people are not really getting to know each other. They're just jumping into a relationship and they're finding it harder because now that they've just jumped into this relationship and they got married, now they're afraid that they made a mistake. I met someone recently who said that they made a mistake with the person that they chose because they did not spend the necessary time. No one wants to be in a position such as that. And this person is now working at trying to develop a friendship with someone who that was really the first step that they should have made in the first place. Let us evaluate where we are in our lives. Let us try to really fix some of the problems we have with ourselves so that we can be more of an asset in a relationship. Let us not forget that. And it's such a lovely thing just learning who we are so that we can be better in a relationship with other people. It's so lovely just being you. Thank you for joining us today.